Jana Duggar announces her first baby. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. For Duggar family latest news updates, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. For years, fans of the famous Duggar family, stars of TLC's 19 Kids and Counting and Later Counting On, have followed their every life update with curiosity, fascination, and sometimes even controversy. From weddings to courtships, and from family feuds to joyful births, the Duggars have never been far from the headlines. But now, one of the most surprising, heartfelt, and highly anticipated announcements has finally arrived. Jana Duggar, the eldest daughter of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, has officially announced that she is expecting her first baby. The news has not only taken fans by storm, but has also stirred a wave of emotional reactions within the Duggar household. Known as the Cinderella Duggar for years because of her unmarried status, while many of her younger siblings married and started families, Jana's baby news feels like the closing of one chapter and the beautiful beginning of another. This story is more than just a pregnancy announcement. It is about family, resilience, shifting roles, and the emotional weight of expectations. Let's dive deep into Jana's journey, the Duggar family's reactions, and why this baby might just reshape the Duggar legacy. Jana Duggar's unique place in the Duggar family. When TLC viewers were first introduced to the Duggar family, Jana was already seen as one of the most responsible children. As the firstborn daughter, she naturally took on a caregiver role, often helping to raise her younger siblings. Over the years, fans saw Jana step in as a second mom, particularly after Michelle Duggar's pregnancies left the household needing extra help. She was the sister who cooked, cleaned, homeschooled, and babysat. She was the calm presence that held the household together during chaotic times. However, unlike her siblings, Jana didn't rush into marriage. While Jessa, Jill, Joanna, Jinger, and others married in their late teens or early 20s, Jana remained single well into her 30s. This led to years of speculation from fans, critics, and even tabloids. Why wasn't Jana married yet? Was she secretly in a courtship? Did she even want kids? Jana's silence only made her personal life more mysterious. Now, with her baby news, it feels like her story has taken a dramatic and joyful turn, and her journey to motherhood might be one of the most impactful Duggar narratives yet. The big announcement. According to family insiders, Jana decided to announce her pregnancy during a private Duggar gathering. The event, held at the family's Arkansas home, was described as a mix of laughter, tears, and pure joy. Jana stood up in front of everyone, holding a small gift bag one family friend shared. Inside was a tiny baby onesie with the words, "Worth the wait," printed on it. At first, people didn't understand what it meant, but once Jana smiled and put her hand on her stomach, the room erupted. The moment was reportedly emotional beyond words. Siblings cried, parents hugged, and younger nieces and nephews shouted with excitement. Some even jumped into Jana's arms, asking if they could be big cousins. For a family that has seen dozens of babies over the years, Jana's announcement carried a unique weight. She wasn't just announcing another Duggar baby. She was rewriting her own narrative, proving that her timeline might be different, but it is still deeply meaningful. Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar's reaction. Jim Bob and Michelle, who are now grandparents many times over, were said to be particularly emotional. Michelle reportedly hugged Jana tightly and whispered, "This is the moment we've been praying for." Jim Bob, often known for his practical approach, apparently teared up and told Jana, "You've always been such a blessing to this family. Now it's your turn to be blessed in this way." For years, the Duggar parents had fielded questions about Jana's life path. Some critics accused them of putting pressure on her, while others suggested they allowed her to fade into the background while her siblings pursued marriage and children. But in this moment, the emotional reaction seemed genuine, as if a long-awaited hope had finally been fulfilled. Siblings' emotional responses. One of the most heartwarming aspects of Jana's announcement was the reaction of her siblings. Jessa Seawald, always vocal and bubbly, reportedly cried tears of joy. She told Jana, "You're going to be the best mom. You already raised half of us." Joanna Forsyth posted later on social media that she was overwhelmed with happiness and promised to spoil this little one endlessly. Jinger Vualo, who now lives in California, was said to be screaming over FaceTime and called it the most exciting news of the year. Josh Duggar, who remains estranged due to his legal controversies, was not present, and his absence reportedly cast a small shadow over the event. Still, the overwhelming tone was joy, healing, and celebration, fans' long-awaited moment. For fans, Jana's announcement felt surreal. For over a decade, when will Jana Duggar get married, and will Jana ever have children were frequent topics in Duggar fandom spaces. Social media lit up almost immediately after the news leaked. Comments like "I can't believe it." Finally, Jana's turn. This is the baby we've all been waiting for. She deserves happiness more than anyone. Some fans even said they felt protective of Jana and wanted her to enjoy privacy during her pregnancy. Given the intense public scrutiny the Duggars have faced, Jana's private journey, what makes Jana's story even more powerful is the quiet strength with which she has navigated her 30s. While tabloids speculated about her dating life, Jana remained focused on her passions: gardening, home decor, and spending time with her family. She was often seen as the rock of the Duggar household, helping Michelle and mentoring her younger siblings. Many believe this period of waiting gave Jana something invaluable: wisdom, patience, and perspective. Now, as she steps into motherhood, she does so not as a teenager rushing into responsibility, but as a mature, grounded woman who has watched, learned, and prepared in her own way. The Duggar legacy and what Jana's baby means. The Duggar family has built much of its public image around large families, traditional values, and motherhood. But Jana's story introduces a new layer: the idea that timelines can look different, even within the Duggar world. Her baby is not just another grandchild for Jim, Bob, and Michelle. This child represents 1. A shift in narrative, showing that waiting is okay. 2. A symbol of hope, that joy can come later in life, not just early. 3. A personal victory, Jana defining her path outside of the expectations placed upon her. For many fans who felt pressured by similar cultural expectations, Jana's story is deeply relatable. The emotional weight of "worth the wait," the phrase printed on the onesie "worth the wait," has already become symbolic among fans. It reflects not only Jana's personal journey, but also the way her supporters have cheered her on silently for years. In a world that often equates success with speed, fast marriages, fast careers, fast everything, Jana's story reminds us that sometimes the best things take time. Social media explosion. Within hours of the announcement, hashtags like #JanaDuggarBaby and #WorthTheWait began trending among Duggar fans. Instagram was flooded with edited photos of Jana holding baby shoes, fan-made digital art, and messages of encouragement. Duggar News star Jana Duggar reacts to Aaron Bates' sepsis battle, calls it an absolute miracle. Duggar News fame Jana Duggar has opened up about Aaron Bates' sepsis battle and recovery. Aaron recently gave birth to her 7th child, and soon after giving birth, she went into septic shock. The mother of 7 also suffered a severe and lengthy seizure. A few days later, her husband informed everyone that she is out of danger and recovering. Aaron Bates was recently discharged from the hospital and took to Instagram to share the good news. While she thanked everyone for praying for her, she also revealed that she has lost function in her right leg. Now, Jana Duggar has shared an update about her friend's recovery. Keep reading to know what she has shared. Duggar News. Duggar family shows support to Aaron. Aaron Bates is still fighting to get better. While she is bravely standing against her health problems, the Duggar family has shown their support to the 34-year-old star. Her husband was continuously sharing updates about her health on his Instagram handle. People across the world put down all their love and support for Aaron in the comment section. Duggar News fame Jana Duggar wrote down, "Chad, we are upholding you in all prayer daily." Whereas her husband, Jeremy Vuolo, also left a comment in which he added that everyone is praying for Aaron. Furthermore, Jill Duggar, Jessa Duggar, and Jana Duggar also said that they are praying for Aaron and her family. Later, when Chad updated everyone that his wife's condition is stable, Jessa replied, "Praise the Lord." Aaron's sister, Katie Bates, also commented that everyone is thankful for the answered prayers. Duggar News. Jana Duggar shares an update on Aaron's recovery. Aaron Bates, who was battling with sepsis for the last few weeks, has been discharged and is finally home. But she also shared that she has lost function in her right leg. Back in August, she gave birth to her 7th child, Henry. Because of her long and complicated labor, she got a UTI infection. This also led her into septic shock. Later, it was revealed by her husband, Chad, that she also suffered a severe seizure. However, a few days ago, the mother of 7 took to Instagram and posted a bittersweet update. She revealed that she is finally going home, but unfortunately, she has also lost function in her right leg. Erin wrote, "We don't have all the answers yet, and I still don't have function in my right leg." She further added, "But we are choosing to count every blessing, especially the gist of being together again." Furthermore, Erin also thanked everyone for praying for her and wrote that it means the world to them. Now, the Duggar news star and her friend, Jana Duggar, have spoken about the situation and offered an update about her health. The 31-year-old star said, "I think Erin seems to be doing a little bit better." She discussed it with her husband, Jeremy Vuolo, on the September 17th episode of their eponymous podcast. Jana further added, "I think that it'll be a long road, but as we follow along with all their posts, it's encouraging to see any little glimmer of hope." Additionally, she said that everyone is holding on to hope now as Erin has started to recover. And so that's just an absolute miracle and encouraging to see, Jana admitted. Keep coming back to TV season and spoilers for more Duggar updates. Jana Duggar shockingly leaves Jeremy Vuolo. Duggar family in tears, divorce revealed. The Duggar family had long been accustomed to public scrutiny. With years in the spotlight and countless headlines, they thought they had weathered almost every storm imaginable. But nothing could have prepared them for the shocking announcement that Jana Duggar, once considered one of the strongest anchors of stability in the family, had walked away from her husband Jeremy Vuolo. The news spread like wildfire. It wasn't a whisper, nor a slow trickle of rumors. It was everywhere in an instant. Social media exploded with hashtags like #JanaandJeremy, #DuggarDivorce, and even the heartbreaking #PrayForTheDuggars. Fans were in disbelief. Critics dissected every detail, and inside the Duggar home, tears fell freely as the weight of Jana's choice became undeniable. The cracks began to show. From the outside, Jana and Jeremy had always seemed picture-perfect. Their love story was the stuff of modern Duggar legend. A pastor and a sweet daughter from one of America's most watched families. What could possibly go wrong? They moved from Arkansas to Texas and later to California, where Jeremy pursued ministry and Jana embraced city life. But behind the filtered Instagram posts and carefully worded interviews, cracks had begun to form. Jeremy's passion for ministry often consumed his time. He was driven, focused, and ambitious. He had dreams of expanding his influence beyond the pulpit, writing books, building podcasts, becoming a household name in evangelical circles. Jana supported him, but as she tried to balance her own role as wife, mother, and individual, she often felt invisible in the shadows of his growing spotlight. Small disagreements grew into bigger ones. Jana's voice, once cheerful and full of laughter, turned softer and quieter. Nights that had once been filled with shared prayers and whispered dreams were now marked by cold silences, the breaking point. It was one evening in Los Angeles that the final straw came. Jeremy had just returned from a late meeting, his phone buzzing nonstop with ministry updates. Jana had been waiting for him, her hands trembling as she held a letter she had written earlier that day. The house was quiet, their children asleep, but her heart pounded louder than any noise. "Jeremy," she said, her voice breaking. He glanced up distractedly, loosening his tie. "What is it, Jana? Can it wait? I've had a long day." Her tears spilled over. "That's just it. It always has to wait. I've been waiting for years, Jeremy. Waiting for you to see me, to hear me, to understand that I'm drowning." He froze, his brows furrowing. "What are you saying?" Her hands shook as she placed the letter on the table. "I can't keep living like this. I love you, but love isn't enough when I feel like a stranger in my own marriage. I'm leaving." The words hung heavy in the air, more crushing than any silence that had come before. Shockwaves through the Duggar home the very next day. Jana called her parents. Michelle answered first, her familiar warm tone quickly faltering. when she heard her daughter's sobs. Jim Bob soon joined, and together they listened in stunned disbelief as Jinger confessed the truth. "Mom, Dad, I've left Jeremy." Michelle's hand flew to her mouth. Jim Bob's voice broke, something rarely heard from the patriarch of the Duggar clan. "Jinger, sweetheart, are you sure about this? Marriage is sacred. We've always taught you." "I know what you've taught me," Jinger whispered, "but I also know what I've lived. I can't keep sacrificing myself to keep up appearances. This isn't about disobedience or rebellion. It's about survival." Back in Arkansas, the Duggar household was shaken to its core. Siblings gathered, whispering, crying, and praying. Some were sympathetic, others struggled to understand. Joy and Jana held each other, tears streaming down their faces as they processed the reality that their sister's marriage, something they had admired, was crumbling. Jeremy's silence, as the headlines spread, one voice remained notably absent: Jeremy's. While Jinger issued a brief statement confirming the separation, Jeremy refused to comment publicly. Josh admitted to hospital. Jana Duggar, very crying. Duggar family in shock. The Duggar family had been through scandals, heartbreaks, and controversies over the years, but nothing could have prepared them for the chilling phone call that came one late September evening. It was Jim Bob Duggar who first received the news to Mr. Duggar. The voice on the other end said gravely, "Your son Josh has been admitted to the hospital. His condition is very critical." For a moment, Jim Bob froze. His hand trembled around the phone, his eyes widening as though the world had just stopped. Michelle, sitting across the living room with a Bible open in her lap, noticed the sudden change in his face. "Jim Bob, what is it?" she whispered, already fearing the worst. He struggled to find words. His voice cracked. "It's Josh. He's in the hospital, and it's bad. Really bad." Michelle gasped, clutching her chest. Tears filled her eyes immediately, and the weight of a mother's fear pressed down on her heart. For all of Josh's mistakes, sins, and scandals, he was still her firstborn son. The one who had made her a mother, the one she had once cradled in her arms with dreams of his future. The rush to the hospital. News traveled quickly through the large Duggar family chain. One by one, siblings were called. Jessa, holding baby Fern in her arms, nearly dropped the phone when she heard. Jana, usually calm and collected, broke down into tears as she frantically searched for her car keys. Jinger and Jeremy, all the way in Los Angeles, sat in stunned silence, unable to comprehend the gravity of what they had just been told. But no one took it harder than Jana Duggar, Josh's wife. She had been by his side through everything: the trials, the court cases, the humiliations, the jail time. She had stood in the shadows, defending him when few others did, raising their 7 children almost single-handedly. When she got the call that Josh had collapsed and been rushed to the hospital, her knees gave out. No. God, please," she whispered, clutching the edge of the kitchen counter. The children gathered around her, confused and frightened. Little Meredith asked softly, "Mommy, is Daddy okay?" Anna pulled her into her arms, sobbing, "Daddy's very sick right now, sweetheart. We need to pray for him." Within the hour, Anna was on her way to the hospital. Her heart pounded in her chest as she drove, tears blurring her vision. Every red light felt like a cruel delay, every passing minute a thief stealing away the time she might have left with her husband. The scene at the hospital waiting room, was heavy with tension and grief. Jim Bob sat hunched forward, his hands clasped tightly, whispering prayers under his breath. Michelle sat beside him, tears running silently down her cheeks as she gripped a rosary-like set of prayer beads. When Anna arrived, she rushed through the automatic doors and nearly collapsed into Jim Bob's arms. "How is he?" she cried. Jim Bob shook his head slowly. "The doctors are doing everything they can, but they said it's critical." Anna's sobs echoed through the room, drawing sympathetic looks from nurses passing by. She buried her face in her hands, trembling. All the years of defending Josh, of standing beside him no matter what, came flooding back. And now, when she might lose him forever, she realized how much of her life was still bound up in his. Flashbacks of a complicated past. As Anna waited for any news, her mind spun backward through the years. She remembered the young man she married, full of charm and promises, telling her they would build a godly family together. She remembered their wedding day when she walked down the aisle with stars in her eyes. She remembered the first time she placed their newborn in his arms, the joy that lit up his face. But she also remembered the darker times, the betrayal, the public disgrace, the endless nights crying herself to sleep. She had forgiven him again and again because that's what her faith and her vows demanded. And now, standing on the edge of possibly losing him, she realized just how much she still loved him. The doctor's report. Hours later, a doctor entered the waiting room. His expression was serious, but not without compassion. "Are you the family of Josh Duggar?" Everyone in the room rose to their feet. Jim Bob stepped forward, his voice trembling. "Yes." "How is he?" the doctor sighed. Josh was admitted with severe complications. His body went into shock, and his heart is very weak. Right now, he is on life support. Duggar News. Josh Duggar accused of breaking rules. Prosecutors slam his attempt at new trial. Duggar News followers are now watching Josh Duggar trying his best to overturn his 151-month prison sentence. But it seems that he isn't doing it the right way. Apparently, the disgraced celeb has been accused of breaking some major rules while he was applying for the trial. But that's not all. Fans were in shock when Josh's prosecutor recently slammed him and his attempt at a new trial. He exposed the disgraced celeb completely, and viewers were in disbelief. What is this all about? What did he reveal? Did Josh really break the rules? Keep on reading to learn more about this controversy, because the tea is really hot. Duggar News. Josh wants a relief in court fees. But why Duggar News fans were in shock when Josh Duggar claimed that he was broke behind bars. He attempted to demonstrate that his account balance was 22 cents, with an outstanding 2 cents debt. The disgraced celeb further stated that he had no savings, property, or assets and didn't have any source of income at all. Josh tried to convince the court that even his family and friends weren't sending him money. Hence, he was unable to afford the court fees and applied for relief. Josh believes that he was entitled to relief because he lacked a stable source of income for further procedures. However, now it seems that things are going to get more messed up for Josh. Duggar News. Josh broke rules? Prosecutors slam him. Duggar News followers are now learning about Josh and his attempts to get out of prison. He initially claimed that his constitutional rights were violated. The disgraced celeb further tried to prove that he was deprived of a fair trial by listing several reasons. However, now his prosecutor is finally hitting him back with some shocking facts. The prosecutor actually claimed that Josh was breaking the rules during the process of filing the paperwork for the appeal. This is because the court papers didn't have any visible postmark on them. Moreover, there was no indication related to the prepaid postage that was included. But that's not all. Josh's documents further didn't have any kind of evidence that could prove that the envelope ever passed through the U.S. postal system. The prosecutor pointed out another flaw. They noted that the date indicated on the filing wasn't the actual filing date. Hence, things didn't turn out in Josh's favor, and he wasn't able to satisfy his burden regarding the prison mailbox rule. Josh's motion was untimely, which led the court to make a decision. The Sun revealed the United States respectfully requests that Duggar's motion to vacate, set aside, or correct sentence by a person in federal custody be denied. Moreover, Josh wasn't able to show and prove that he was denied getting his constitutional right. All of this makes it clear that the disgraced star failed again in his attempt to overturn the decision. What do you think? Do let us know in the comments section. Keep coming back to the TV season and spoilers for more updates.